Hey everybody, and welcome back to Ninja Turtle Week here on the Eric Butts channel. I'm having so much fun watching all this Ninja Turtle stuff again and reliving all this great, wonderful nostalgia. Even have some cool ideas for some new videos I'm gonna add to this week that I'll be shooting here shortly. So I am having a good time. I hope you guys are having a good time, but it is that time of the week again where we sit down and we have a little geek out session where we can all talk about something really, really fun and just nerd out together and have a good time doing it. So the question I'm going to ask today, and then I'll answer, and then I'll talk a little bit about it, and then I'll ask you, is who is your favorite Ninja Turtle? That's right, of the four main turtles on the squad, or actually the lady turtle, I don't even remember from that one version that I'm not sure I ever watched, or even alternate turtles, whatever. Also, my wonderful fiance slash producer Mary has made a great suggestion too about including which iteration, like from the 80s cartoon or from the 80s, 90s movies or from the modern movies or from the modern cartoon or from the comics or whatever. So that's gonna make it a little trickier for me because I've not seen or read all of those things, but I certainly, I think mine's going to stay the same regardless of which version it is. And I'll probably end up ranking my favorite turtles from least to worst before this is over. But without further ado, it's pretty clear cut for me. My favorite Ninja Turtle has always and will always be Leonardo. And of course, I think that's who I relate to the most. You know, I tend to have that leader kind of mentality, for better or for worse at times. And I really have always appreciated his his level-headedness about it. And that, you know, he's not just, hey, I'm in charge, I know what I'm doing. He's very full of self-doubt, but you know, which is what makes a good leader, because he's very reflective on what he is doing and is he doing it correctly or not. You know, and he does care about everybody else, and he really just wants to keep his brothers together and keep them safe, and I just think that's fantastic. And that's, you know, I mean, even as a young kid, that was a quality that very, very much appealed to me, and hopefully I have that, you know, same mentality in the times that I do things. I think I do, but you know, you never know how other people perceive you, so you know, what can you say? But yeah, Leo has always been my favorite, and again, I think that's across all versions, you know, from the 80s cartoon to even the modern movies, although I haven't seen the new one yet. You know, a couple more days and I will be seeing it, Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows, so that ought to be fun. But, you know, I mean, he's just, oh God, in that first movie, the original 1990, the movie, he's really, really well developed too, and, you know, there's some great emotion that comes from him, and his love and adoration for his master is so fantastic. And I rewatched the animated movie last night, and it's still just there, and that whole thing where he went off on a journey of, you know, self-discovery to become better and trained by himself, and didn't come back when he was supposed to because he didn't want to fail his team because he felt like he hadn't grown. I just thought all that stuff was so wonderful. Now, with that aside, my next favorite is probably Donatello, but of course this can change from iteration to iteration. You know, I really loved him in the 80s. I love him in the modern cartoon. I think that's the best version of Donatello I've seen. I don't really remember much from the movie, but I haven't done my rewatch lately. I mean, the modern movie. The classic movies, you know, he was enjoyable, and of course, you know, I have a soft spot for Corey Feldman because I grew up in the 80s and loved the Coreys. So, you know, I kind of enjoyed him in the movies, even though I don't think that was a great iteration of him. I've not read too many of the comics, so I can't comment on that. But yeah, so there you go. And then probably my third favorite is gonna have to be Michelangelo. Granted, I don't care much for the earlier, like 80s and 90s Michelangelo. It's a little too much party dude, a little too goofy. But the way they have really portrayed him in the modern cartoon and even the modern movies, I think they've really, really started to nail the spirit of Michelangelo. In the modern cartoon, I particularly love that he's the one that kind of names all the villains, and it just, the way they do that makes perfect sense. And if you haven't watched that modern cartoon, like if you only saw stills and thought the animation looked cheap or something, do yourself a favor and go watch some of that, because in still frame, the animation doesn't look great, but in motion, it works, and it really works well for the show. And they got the personality so perfect in that show, and I really love everything they've done with it. So then I guess that leaves Raphael. Raphael is my least favorite. Again, this is like ranking doctors in Doctor Who. It's like, even if you're my least favorite, I still love you. It's like, you know, a rank scale of that much difference. And, you know, but his personality type is probably one I should feel I could relate to more because, you know, especially when I was younger, I had a temper issue or whatever, you know, but eventually kind of got over that and realized, well, got over, unless I'm driving and you're in my way. But, sorry. Sorry if you ever are in my way and I'm driving. You know, so other than that, I don't really relate too strongly to Raphael, but I understand him and I appreciate him as a character, and I definitely think he balances out the team to make this perfect combination of the four turtles. So, Again, I remember there was like, was it Venus? There was a female turtle, but I don't really remember her, so I can't really rank her in there. So I guess she'd be on the bottom just because I don't know anything about it. But yeah, so pretty much I'd say that's my ranking of the turtles, and Leo is my favorite, and I can't wait to see more. So now let's turn the tables and ask you guys, who is your favorite Ninja Turtle? And again, feel free to clarify from what series or what style, and also if you want to rank them, that's cool too. You like what I'm saying? You know, do you agree with my take? Let's hear that. If you disagree, you have, you know, I mean, again, it's an opinion, so I'm not wrong, you're not wrong, no one's wrong. You know, opinions are opinions. They can be ill-informed, but they're never really wrong, you know? But so let's talk about it. Let's get down in the comments and let's start geeking out together and have a good time. Feel free to argue with one another. Just keep it cool, be civil about it, and all will be well. That's what we do here. It's a fun, safe place just to kind of, like I said, geek out with one another and have a good time doing it. So hopefully you've enjoyed that, and you know, and hopefully like this question, because I really like this question, and I can't wait to see what some of you guys think. I think it'll be somewhat telling of people's personalities too, because I imagine, like me, you probably relate to the one you feel, you know, is closest to you. So I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. Other than that, you can give me the thumbs up of encouragement to keep encouraging me to do more stuff like this. And if you're new and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button so you can see all this really cool ass nerdy stuff we put out every single day here on this channel. At least 3 times a day is what I go for. And we can all have a good time together and share with your friends so we can make this party even bigger. And I'll just order more pizzas for all of us, and that way we can really party, right? And now I'm realizing when I go see the movie Thursday, we really ought to eat pizza for dinner. That just seems to make sense. But we will see how that goes. And yeah, so guys, I'm gonna get out of here, and you guys can tune in next time. Same Butts place, same Butts channel as always, and we'll do some more fun things. And I will see you guys later.